Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tenopa Tishta Dridrume Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsan Ametitam Shriyam Kurohum Ha 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 ho Bhagava Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mame Munsa Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Eho Shude Shude Svoha Yam Ho Shude Shude Soha Ramo Shude Shude So Bam Ho Shude Shude Soha Bam Ho Shude Shude Soha Eyam Ram Lam Bam Shude Shude Soha Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakya Muni Soha Oye Dharma Hetun Prabhav Hetun Tesha Tathagato Yawa Data Teshan Chayo Nirodan Evam Vadi Mahashramana Yesoha On Chenam Tamche Gyule Jung Deshin Shepesum Gyula Gopa Kaim Ba Gechon Chembo Dekesum Gechon Chembo Jingilo Gechon Chembo Ngodrupsul Gechon Chembo Trashishu Sangye Chodan Soge Chonam La Chancho Pardo Dani Kyapsuchi Dagi Jinso Gibe Sonamgi Drola Pinchra Sangye Drupareshu Sangye Chodan Soge Chonam La Chancho Pardo Dani Kyapsuchi Dagi Jinso Gibe Sonamgi Drola Pinchra Sangye Drupareshu Sangye Chodan Soge Chonamla Chancho Pardo Dani Kyapsuchi Dagi Jinso Gibe Sonamgi Drola Pinchra Sangye Drupareshu. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I take refuge unto enlightenment. Through the practice of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, so the first verse, now actually the next verses, 4 verses, refers to making requests according to the external, internal, secret, and emptiness qualities, okay, of Guru Buddha. So, we start with the external. And the verse says, Deshin kusum gengi korloni tapki gyuru drawe jogele tame tsugi drawa renzepe kyabkon tuje chenla solwa deb. We make our request to you, all compassionate refuge protectors. From an intricate lattice of mirage-like skillful means, emblazed with the three-body wills of those gone to bliss, you manifest in an ordinary guise to lead all beings. First of all, when it says here, from an intricate lattice of mirage-like skillful means, it means that the actions of the Buddha we are not able to see. We don't have the abilities to see their true body, their true mind, their true speech, their true actions. We are not able to see that. In Tibetan it's called Sawasamgimi Kyapa. Kusum Tugi, Sawasamgimi Kyapa. The incredible secrets, which is like really like the true body, the very subtle body of a Buddha, how he's helping others. We are not able to see. Here in the commentary there are many pages describing the secret body, the secret mind, speech, and the secret mind of a Buddha that we are not able to see. So, a Buddha in his true essence, we cannot enter in contact. We are not able to see him. We are not able to perceive. We are not able to listen. So, the verse says, coming from this incredible, skillful means, which is emblazoned, which is ornamented, which is embellished, let's say, maybe. Adorned, which is adorned with the body, speech, and mind of the Buddhas. Okay, you manifest in a gross, ordinary form. So there is an ordinary body, which here, as it says, you have an ordinary guise. So it's like, for example, you are not really part of this, but you play the part. And truly, you have the pure body, speech, and mind, but you appear with an ordinary form, with an ordinary body. So this is something so incredible, actually. Because even if a Buddha would come here with his pure body, as I believe there are many, can we see them? If a Buddha is here in front of us, can we see him? No. Why? Because that's until we cannot see the Buddhas, we cannot see spirits, we cannot see so many things, no? We can only see the things that are in our own level of perception. So, in order for a Buddha to be able to guide us and to help us, what he needs to do, he needs to interact with us. And what's the only level that he can do that? Coming to our level. So this is what we call the external qualities, the fact that the Buddha manifests himself in a gross body. And this is something so amazing, actually. So, instead of Buddha saying, come to my level, he's saying, I'm going to yours. Here I am. I manifest myself with a gross body, with flesh and bone, and so that you can listen to me, you can touch me, you can see me. And this is the most amazing way, because there is no other way, actually, really. So, this is what when we say that the truly external quality of the Guru is that the fact that he manifests himself in accordance to our own level. And this we can see actually in many, many ways. I remember this little bit like the story of Kagache Tsuntampa. No? I see in Rinpoche many aspects similar to that also. But, for example, when we look at Kagache Tsuntampa, I think that was his name. Anyhow, one of the most important lamas in the history of Mongolia. He was not from there, but he came and he was the one that brought Buddhism in the beginning to Mongolia also. And what happened was that at that time, it was the time, I don't know, of the Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, some Khan. Then they were very violent and very strong and so on. And what happened at that time was that they were quite aggressive to each other, and there were also two parties within Mongolia and so on. So at that moment, they had this master that came there, but he was not saying that he was a Buddhist master. He just acted as a very normal person, and he started to show them that he was capable in the things that they valued. So, for example, they liked wrestling, fighting, and he was the best wrestler at the time. So he was able to win all others. So he was very capable with women. He was very capable of getting in the art of war, of making tactics of war. He was a good artist. He would make beautiful statues and anything that he would know how to do them at the best. So, in a very mundane level, he was like the reference for many things. After some years, everybody was trusting him and he was seeing him as a reference. So, in the moment that the two parties that were always in conflict, he was able to try to make them to talk. No? In the moment that the two actually started to have some sort of understanding, they needed to find someone to be their guide, their king, that both of the sides trusted. So they requested him to be their king. And then he said, okay, I accept, but with one condition, that what I say you both need to follow. They said, okay. And then when he became king, the first thing that he did is say, okay, now we become all Buddhist. So then he started teaching Buddhism and changing many things. No? Actually, even today, when the people meet in Mongolia, they have the habit of having this tobacco, of sniffing tobacco. No, nata in Tibetan. So what? Snuff. There is a snuff. So the first thing that they do is like, each one of them is holding one little, not as big as this, but one container of snuff. They always take with them. And the first thing they do before talking is they exchange each other, which is a symbol of trust. Because it's said that the two parties of the Khans, they had so much difficulty between themselves, they could not even talk to each other without fighting. So what he did is that he said, you don't need to talk. First you exchange the snuff. Because it was the only thing that he found in common between them, the first thing, other than fighting. They both liked very much snuff. So they would just sit and they would exchange the snuff. Nice one. Okay. Which means I trust you because I'm having your snuff. There is no poison inside, nothing. You trust me because you are taking mine. And then from this, they start getting a little bit more easy, and then they start talking, and then from this, they were able to overcome. So up to today in Mongolia, when people meet, the first thing they exchange their snuff. And even if you don't take snuff, it's not polite if you don't accept, and then you just take like this with the hand, and after you give back to them. You don't need to really take it. But this is coming from that time. So what happened with this master? He adapted his level to the level of the other people in order to guide them to the Dharma. He didn't arrive there and say, oh, you are so brutal and violent, you don't understand anything. Look to me, I am a superior being, come to receive teachings, I will guide all of you to the state of great joy. No, he adapted himself to their level. This is the external quality of a Buddha. I have seen Rinpoche doing this so many times in so many ways. Some people think, oh, Lama Ganchen is not very traditional. I have not seen no one more traditional than him up to now. In many, many ways, Rinpoche is extremely, deeply traditional. And it's part of tradition to adapt to the mentality. And traveling with Rinpoche through many places, I've always seen him adapting to the mentality of each one, going to the level of each person. Like Rinpoche used to say about Trishan Rinpoche, his guru. It was the Trishan Rinpoche, when he was talking to a prince, he would talk in the level of the prince. When he was talking to the guy that just came from the village and had no education, he would talk in his level and make him feel comfortable also. Everyone will feel comfortable in his presence. So, this means adapting to the level of the people that you need to help. And this is a great quality, which means they are not manifesting themselves in the way how they prefer. For them it's more comfortable. Manifesting in the way that is of more benefit. No? This also makes me remember one great Lama. His name was Drigo Khyentse Rinpoche, great Nyingma from the Nyingmapa tradition. And he passed away, and then his reincarnation was found. And I think he's more or less the age of my sister, I think. So he should be around his 30s now. Maybe a little bit less. Anyhow, his reincarnation was found. And when his reincarnation was found, he was in the family of some modern Tibetans. So the parents had this more modern type of idea, so they said to him, okay, but we are not sending him to the monastery. He should finish school, finish university, then if he wants, he can go to the monastery after that. And they were very strong on that position. So the boy liked it very much, the monastery, but okay. Finally, the monks somehow accepted it. But what happened is that at a certain point where there was no more anything, the boy started to get sick. He was having fever and not able to eat, and he was really very sick. And the doctors tried everything, and there was nothing the doctors could do. And every time when the boy was in the monastery, he was better and was healthy. When he would go back home, he would get sick again. So finally, one of the masters told the parents, he said, look, he is a realized being. He has chosen to be reborn in this body to be of benefit for others. If the conditions are not there for him to fulfill his objective, he will just die and take another body. Dying is not a problem. So finally the parents understood, and they accepted him to go to the monastery, and then he got cured and never had any problem anymore. So this is one example. There are many, many. On the fact that it's really manifesting in a gross way of going to the level of those that need. Okay? So this is the greatest quality. There's nothing so special if a Buddha manifests himself in a subtle form. So what? That's very... What is special is he coming to our level and manifesting in a gross form the way how we can see and we can relate. But it's somehow strange that what we want is the opposite, no? If we see an emanation of light in a rainbow body or whatever, wow! We cannot listen, we cannot talk with just something there, like an hologram. And so what? Beautiful, thank you. What really amazes me is to have the Buddha emanating himself in flesh and bone. So this is the external qualities. Okay? So the next verse goes talking about the inner qualities. And it says, Kyogi pungan kechin elanam de sheringa yabyon sembadan trobo wamporanshin chosumgi danyi lama chola solwa dip. Verse number 50. We make our request to you, O Supreme Gurus, essence of the three jewels of refuge, essence of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Your aggregates, elements, sensory bases, and limbs are in nature the fathers, mothers, male and female bodhisattvas, and the wrathful protectors of the five Buddha families. Which means, you manifest yourself in a gross form. Externally, you manifest yourself in an ordinary form. But internally, you are pure. Your body is pure, your mind is pure. Your five aggregates are the five Dhyani Buddhas, your five elements are the five great mothers, your five sensory bases, which is eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin, are actually the five mothers of the five senses. Your limbs are the bodhisattvas and the protectors. Each part of your body and your mind are pure. So what is saying, this is like the description of the body mandala of Guhya Samaja, which is actually saying, even though you manifest yourself in an ordinary form, actually your body and your mind are not ordinary. And this we can see. There are many ways of seeing this also. In many great masters that have a special state of mind, have a special body that comes as a result out of that also in many ways. Okay? There are many manifestations. I don't have a great long list of this because I never give much importance to this. For me, the important thing is to see a manifestation of love and wisdom. This is what really touches me the most. But there are many things like for example, one of my great masters, Kachin Losang Sobat Rinpoche, the abbot of Tashilumpo in India, passed away. He was also Rinpoche's guru. I saw that quite clearly, and I even asked him, I was a small boy, that he didn't have a shadow, which is one of the signs of the realization of the illusory body. He was sitting on the bed with the light behind him, the table, everything had this very strong shadow. His shadow was just like the shadow of a glass, transparent sort of shadow. That's what I saw. And I asked him, is it true you don't have a shadow? How come you don't have a shadow like this? I don't see it. He didn't say yes or no. He just kept silence. But what happened is that there are many sorts of manifestations that can be there. Once with Rinpoche in Milan, many years ago, there was someone that did one test, putting some sort of machine to check the activity of the brain during meditation. And what happened to Rinpoche is that the activity of both left and right side were the same level of activity, which is something quite uncommon. And there are many other examples that we could give of uncommon things that can happen. Also in the moment after death, like something that is very well known that happened to great masters, I saw it once, was when they pass away and then the cremation is done, the eyes, tongue and heart do not get burned during the cremation. Stay intact, stay one whole piece. And I saw this with Geshe Yeshe Wanchuk, for example. The bones were already in ashes, but then they brought, I remember, in one tray, there was there the heart, the eyes, and the tongue was there full, which is the representation of body, speech, and mind. One of my masters, Gen Lakpala, when he passed away after the cremation, his bones, they became like pills, like more than, they say 108 pills. I don't know if it were exactly 108, but were more than 100. Like they look like pearls. They were shining like pills, which actually, I have some of them. And they are like bone. It's like a pill made of bone. It's not a pill because it was not made. It's just like a little pill, but it's made of bone. And how come after the cremation it became like this, I have no idea. Okay. There are many stories and things that we could see, like when a great master passed away, he stayed for days with the body, with the heat in the heart, and many ways that how they can manifest this. But the point is that even if a great master manifests himself in an ordinary appearance, truly, internally, he is not ordinary. His body is not ordinary, and his mind is not ordinary. So we say to Guru Buddha, your external qualities that you manifest yourself in an ordinary form, but I recognize that internally your body and mind are pure. Okay? So your body is the 5 aggregates, your body and mind are the 5 aggregates, your elements are the 5 mothers, and so on and so on. Okay? So, next verse is talking about making requests. Quindi a te faccio richiesta, a te mi affido. So the next part it refers to the secret aspects, which says, Quindi yeshe röl parle chungwe kilkor korlo jewe danyete rigye kyapta dorje zimbe so sungchu tangbe gon la solwa deb. Verse 51. We make our request to you, O protector of primordial unity, foremost holders of the Vajra, all-pervading lords of the hundreds of Buddha families, unfolding from the play of omniscient, pristine awareness. So what is meaning here? This is talking about the secret qualities. The secret qualities are those that cannot be perceived by an ordinary mind. So in other words, what we are saying is that externally you manifest yourself in an ordinary form. Internally your body and mind are pure. secretly, you are the essence of all Buddhas. So because from the essence of pristine awareness, which means the union of great bliss and emptiness, which is the primordial unity, which means the union of illusory body and clear light, like in the moment of death, that everything dissolves into the central channel and all the winds absorb into the indestructible drop, and from there manifest the clear light. In the moment that there is the union of the mother and son clear light, and then after there is the union of the illusory body with the clear light, that's the primordial Buddha, that's the primordial protector, that's the first state of enlightenment. From that manifests the illusory body, that manifests in 100 different forms. So here, where it says here, pervading lords of hundreds of Buddha families. No, it's of 100 Buddha families. It's not of hundreds. It's actually 100 Buddha families. The 100 of Buddha families is 20 families for each one of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. There is a way, normally how all the Buddhas manifest is like, first there is the primordial Buddha. The primordial Buddha is the first state of enlightenment, which is the union of illusory body and clear light. From that state manifests one body of emanation, as in, for example, in the form of represented by Vajradhara. Vajradhara manifests into 5 aspects, which are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. The 5 Dhyani Buddhas, each one of them manifest into 20 different aspects and make 100. And from the 100 manifest into another million, hundreds of millions of different aspects. It's like when Rinpoche say that Borobudur is an ocean of mandalas. Borobudur manifests all the mandalas like we used to have here in the ceiling, and it's coming back soon. The central mandala of Borobudur of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and around all the other mandalas, which are emanating and reabsorbing into the mandalas of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. What does this mean? All the mandalas of all the deities, all the millions of mandalas of Buddhas, they are manifestation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. There are manifestation of Vajradhara, that are a manifestation of the primordial Buddha of the union of clear light and illusory body, of the union of great bliss and emptiness. Okay? So in a secretly level, Guru Buddha, what you are the union of great bliss and emptiness of the illusory body of clear light. You are the essence of all Buddhas, of all mandalas, of all the 10 directions and 3 times. This is in the secret level. Okay? When we talk about secret, it's not something that cannot be told. It's something that cannot be perceived by a normal way of seeing things. No? Even like something different is when we talk about the secret biographies. For example, great masters like Lama Tsongkhapa and many others, they have their secret biography. The external biography or common biography is where they tell about, okay, I have been here, I have done this, I have done that everyone can perceive and see. The secret biography is where they express their own inner experience in every situation, how they perceive things. Normally they are quite difficult to understand very often, the secret biographies. It's not something so easy. But it's very well known, for example, the secret biography of Lama Tsongkhapa. Okay? And normally they are only published after they passed away. It's never published when a Lama is still in life. Okay? Anyhow, here we are talking about the secret qualities, those that we cannot perceive, which is in essence Guru Buddha is externally in an ordinary form, internally with pure body and mind. Secretly is the essence of all Buddhas, of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and the 5, and by in consequence is the essence of all the 100 families of Buddhas and all the millions of mandalas that emanate from it. Okay? So, we make our request to you, O protector of primordial unity, foremost holders of the Vajra, O pervading lords of the 100 Buddha families, unfolding from the play of omniscient pristine awareness. So once again, the meaning here is, you are the essence of all the mandalas of the millions of mandalas that are a manifestation of the 100 families of the Buddhas, there are a manifestation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, there are a manifestation of Vajradhara, there is a manifestation of the primordial Buddha, which is the union of illusory body and clear light. So you are this in a secret level. Okay? Okay, so now, the next verse is, let's say, one of the most difficult verses that we have gone through the whole Guru Puja up to now. And it refers of making request based on the qualities of, which is called the emptiness, the aspects of emptiness or the qualities of the ultimate Guru. Okay? I will read the verse in Tibetan and then the translation in English, and then I will try to make my own translation. So I think the English will be a little bit shorter than the Italian because I took some time to make the translation. So now I already have done it, so it's faster. But we would say in Tibetan, Chimelhenke gawe rol padang yermetenyo kunge da tomatare kun santonamni janju semgo kyola sowa de. Verse 52. We make our request to you, Immaculate Samantabhadra, who are in reality ultimate bodhicitta, free from beginning or end, the nature of all things, pervading everything in motion and at rest, inseparable from simultaneous bliss, in play without obstruction. Let's say the translation is okay, but it's very difficult to translate this verse, really. Okay, and here in the commentary, the Yönzi Yeshe Gensen, which was one of the disciples of Panchen Losang Gensen, and he wrote the most well-known commentary. This book here is one of the most well-known commentaries of the Guru Puja. Okay, and in this part in the commentary he says, Dine Shibar Tokpe, to understand the meaning of this verse precisely, you need to have some, I would say, prerequisites, we call. No? So which are the qualities that you need to know before? First of all, you need to understand how the grasping at inherent existence is the root of samsara. You need to understand how the realization of emptiness is the antidote to eliminate such ignorance. You need to understand the process of familiarization of the mind in order to eliminate not only verbally and conceptually, you need to understand the non-conceptual process of familiarizing one's mind with wisdom in order to eliminate completely ignorance. You need to understand the process within the Vajrayana path of the Anuttara Yoga Tantra, the root of samsara is seen in the form of a wind. How the wind is connected to the root of samsara. You need to understand also how, in order to eliminate the root of samsara, one needs to make such winds to make the absorption of the winds. How to understand that by absorbing all the winds of conceptualized winds, one can reach the state of enlightenment. And by that state, one can reach the Dharmakaya. Okay? So, this by itself is already quite complex. And he says, to understand this well, please go and study in details the Tantra of Guhya Samaja. Okay? So this is what is explained here. So basically it's saying, if you want to understand this verse well, go and study the whole Tantra of Guhya Samaja, and then maybe you get the meaning. So the point here is, I'm going to try to make it simple based on my own level of understanding. Okay? What he's saying is that, first of all, here is referring to what is called the ultimate Guru. The ultimate Guru refers to the Dharmakaya, which is the essence body, which in other words is the very subtle mind that realizes one's own nature. So, in essence, Guru Buddha is what? He manifests himself externally in an ordinary way. Internally, his body and mind are pure. Secretly, you are the manifestation of all Buddhas and all the mandalas. Ultimately, you are the essence of all Buddhas, the Dharmakaya, which is a pure state of body and mind in a very subtle level. Okay? So, here, the Dharmakaya is what? It's the very subtle mind that realizes its own nature and the nature of all phenomena in a non-conceptual way, in a direct way. So, if we read the verse, I'm just going to try to make one translation right away, okay? Sure, it's not very correct, but I think it gives somehow the idea. Free of any obstruction, spontaneously born, in the dance, in the manifestation of great bliss, non-dual, inseparable, inseparable, stable, and that pervades everything that is stable and in movement, that pervades everywhere. You who are the holder of such, dak means the holder, you who are the owner, you who holds this state of being free of obstructions, spontaneously born in the manifestation of great joy, inseparable, that manifests in everything that is stable and in movement, that from beginning and end, that is free of beginning or end, and then from the very beginning has always been free, that is completely pure. Like the word kunsan here, that in the translation is said Samantabhadra, I believe has nothing to do with Samantabhadra. Kunsan can mean Samantabhadra also, but also means completely pure. And here we are talking about the qualities of emptiness, the qualities of the Dharmakaya. Okay? So, Kunsan means kun is completely all, sang is pure. So it's one quality of the Dharmakaya, quality of emptiness. So it's saying, without beginning and without end, completely pure, ultimately pure, the actual mind of enlightenment. To you I make request. So again, you who are the holder of the state that is of free of obstruction, spontaneously born, in the manifestation of great joy, inseparable, that pervades everything, that pervades all, that is stable and in movement, that has no beginning or end, that is completely pure and ultimate, to the actual state of enlightenment, I make request. So it's meaning externally you manifest yourself in a conventional, ordinary way. Internally, your body and mind are pure. Secretly, you are the essence and the manifestation of all Buddhas. All Buddhas are a manifestation of your essence, the union of clear light and illusory body. And in an ultimate level, you are the true nature of all Buddhas, which is the Dharmakaya, the very subtle mind that realizes its own nature and the nature of all phenomena. Okay? Which is also our own true nature. We have the Dharmakaya of the basis, which is our mind is free of inherent existence, but we have not realized it. Okay? So basically this verse is referring to the very essence of all Buddhas. So it's saying to that Guru Buddha, you are the essence, you are the Dharmakaya, which is also called the ultimate Guru. Why is it called the ultimate Guru? Because why can I reach enlightenment? Who is going to guide me to enlightenment ultimately? The lack of inherent existence of my own mind. Why can I reach enlightenment? Because I am truly, ultimately empty of inherent existence, because my mind is interdependent, in other words. Okay? So the lack of inherent existence of our own self is what is called the ultimate Guru. Okay? Because that's what is going to guide us to enlightenment, more than anything else. Okay? Anyhow, don't worry if you don't understand much of this part, because it's something that takes time. We are talking here about very complex and deep aspects of the teachings, okay? And it's something that can take years and years and years and years of practice and learning and understanding to start grabbing at its actual true meaning, okay? But so with this we have the external, internal, secret, and ultimate qualities, and by that we make request. Okay, remember when we say making request, it's not specify request of what. So it's the moment where we rely upon the Guru and we simply say, okay, I trust you, I entrust myself. Okay, by remembering the qualities of Guru Buddha. So if this way we conclude this part of the text, which says, in which we make request based first on the qualities of the Hinayana Guru, Mahayana Guru, and Vajrayana Guru, so by remembering the qualities of the Guru. Then after that, we make requests by remembering the kindness of the Guru with 3 verses, remembering that the Guru is inseparable of all Buddhas, is doing the actual job of all the Buddhas, so thank you. So I really am very grateful for that. Then making request, remembering his qualities, his inner, external qualities, internal qualities, secret qualities, and ultimate qualities. Okay? So with this we conclude this part of making request. And then there is the last aspect of making request, which is called the Purtsup Soldep, which is the part Kyonye Lama Kyonye Idam, in which we make this single-pointed request of blessings. Okay? And then together with that come the the 4 initiations by visualization, okay, and concentration. So, the next part is called in Tibetan Prutsuk Soldep, which is the last part of requesting the blessings, which is the name of Purba Tsukpa. Purba is like a dagger, a stake, and Tsuk is to put it on the earth, no? To power stake is like, it means actually to focus, to be single-pointed, to make the request on something that we have already made a request before, to make it stable, to make it deep inside us. So we say, Kyonye Lama, Kyonye Idam, Kyonye Kandro, Chugyonte, Tenesumde, Jancho Bardo, Kyumi Kyoshi Mitsoe, Didam Pardo Chimetarian, Tukche Chagyo, Sunsola, Sishi Chikdungo, Rukunso, Tenge Trozo, Pachuk, Sun. You are the Guru, you are the Yidam, you are the Dakinis, and the Dharma protectors. From this moment until our enlightenment, we seek no other refuge than you. In this life, the Bardo, and in all future lives, hold us with your hook of compassion. Free us from samsara and nirvana spheres. Grant all attainments. Be our unfailing friend, and grant us and guard us from interferences. So, Kyonye Lama, you are the Guru, so please bless me. Bless my body, speech, and mind. You are the Yidam, so please grant me all realizations. You are the Daka and the Dakini, so please be near by my side and give me your company and help during my path. You are the protector of the Dharma, so please help me by eliminating every interference and protecting me during my path to enlightenment. I would take no other refuge than you, which means normally, which are the other refuges that we take? The 8 mundane dharmas, which means money, pleasures, image, all the mundane things in which we take refuge every day that actually cannot give us truly refuge. When we say here, I'm not going to take other refuge in other than you, it's not like, I'm not going to take a refuge in another Lama or in another religion. That's not the meaning. It means I'm not going to take refuge in the places that normally I take refuge, but that gives no true result. So, you are my priority, not you as a person, but the path to enlightenment, which is embodied through you. You, Guru Buddha, you represent the Dharma, the Buddha, the Sangha, everything for me. So I take refuge in you. Please be near by my side. Please guide me in every moment of my life. In every word I say, every thought I have, every choice I make during this life, at my own death, in the Bardo, and in all future lives. May I never be separated from you with a gross, ordinary manifestation so that I can see and relate myself to you. Please be in my mind, please be in my heart, at every moment of this life, of my own death, in the Bardo, and in all future lives. So we make this request deeply from our heart. When we say here, protect us, free us from the fears of samsara and nirvana, the fears of samsara is suffering, generally speaking, and the fear of nirvana is the fact of us wanting to be free from samsara just for our own personal benefit. Okay, this is called the fear of nirvana. So please protect us from that. When it says grant us all attainments, it's bless our body, speech, and mind, so we may be able to realize all the different aspects of Buddha's teachings. Be our friend, which means be our unfailing friend. Be near by my side. Be always together with me. And actually, when we do such request, what are we saying truly? May I be your friend. May I be always near to you. It's not requesting Guru Buddha, please come and help me, don't let me alone. It's like I am opening myself to Guru Buddha, not the other way around. It's like when we request a blessing. When we request a blessing, it's not that without making the request, Guru Buddha is not sending us the blessings. is when I make the request the blessings, I'm opening myself to receive the blessings. In the same way, when I ask Guru Buddha, please be with me at every moment during my life, bardo, and all future rebirths, I am opening myself for this possibility. I'm creating the causes for that to happen. And not the other way around, in which I make a request, so it depends on Guru Buddha if he wants or not to. Okay? So, it's important also to understand the way how it works in this sense, which means Guru Buddha is always there to help us. It depends if we are open to receive such help or not from our side also. So we request, may I have the merits, may there be the conditions for me always to be guided from you in every moment. So this is a moment during the practice where we gather all the energy that we have generated before, the faith, the gratitude, the respect, and we put everything, we focus everything in this moment. So it's a quite strong moment of the practice. It's like holding in the foot of the Guru and saying, I'm not going to let you go, please bless me. No? So, we make this deep request from the heart. And it's a very important moment of the practice. It's very common to see people feeling more emotional in this practice. Like I've seen many times lamas and monks in many situations feeling more emotional at this moment, because it's when you take all the part of the faith and gratitude that we have generated before and focus everything at this point of the practice. Okay, that's why also traditionally, according to Rinpoche's instructions and so on, normally at this moment of the practice we hold our hands together. Okay, we fold our hands and we make this request in this way. So, with this, we have this part of making the request, and after making the request, we receive what is called the 4 initiations. Okay? So let's see this part also. So, the next verse is actually quite simple to understand. There is no much to understand from the verses itself, no? As it says, Tedarlenson so tabetu lame kuzun tugun enamle ducive se karma tingason rimdan chikchar jungne daniki neson rimdan chichartimbal dripshi dauchi namda wanshito kushit topchin lama niba shik geshin timbe jingi labar kyur. By the force of having thus requested 3 times, because the prayer before we make it 3 times, Kyunye Lama Kyunye Ida, we make it 3 times. Nectars and light rays, white, red, and dark blue, stream forth from the centers of our Guru's body, speech, and mind, which means from the crown, throat, and heart, one by one and all together, and absorb into our 3 centers individually and then all together. Means, after having made request 3 times, Guru Buddha smiles at us, and then from his crown, white light emanates, absorbing at our crown. Then red light emanates, absorbing at our throat. Then blue light emanates from his heart, absorbing at our own heart. Okay. Then the 3 together, from the crown, throat, and heart, white, red, and blue emanates and absorbs into our 3 chakras again. The 4 obstacles are purged, and the 4 pure empowerments implanted, and the seed of the 4 kayas received, the 4 pure bodies. A smiling emanation of the Guru dissolves into us, and we are blessed with inspiration. Which means, when the white light emanates from the crown to our crown, all the negativities of body are purified as we receive the vase empowerment. Then, when the red light from the throat to the throat, all the negativities of speech are purified and we receive the secret empowerment. Then, the blue light emanates from heart to our heart, all our negativities of mind are purified and we receive the wisdom empowerment. Then, the white, red, and blue light emanates from the 3 chakras, absorbing together at our 3 chakras, purifying all the combined negativities of body, speech, and mind, granting us the word empowerment. Okay? So this is the process as we do through this. Once we receive this, here we could go into many other details about the 4 empowerments and so on. In a simple way, what we imagine is that the light and nectar that comes are of the nature of love, of compassion, of wisdom. And then as we receive it, we imagine that our body and mind, our body, speech, and mind are purified in a gross, subtle, and very subtle level. And as we receive this light and nectar that fills our body, we experience a new sensation of great bliss and emptiness. Okay? So, once we have concluded that, an emanation of Guru Buddha comes like one candle coming out another. Like if we have a candle, which has the fire, and we turn on another candle, and we take, it's like the same level of fire. It's like a double fire. The first one remains there, and then I have a second one. Similar to that, an emanation comes towards me, enters towards our crown, becomes small like a thumb, looking in the same direction as we look, enters through our crown, descends through our central channel. In our heart chakra opens a lotus flower with 8 petals, with a sun and a moon cushion, representing our heart chakra with the indestructible drop, where our very subtle body, my speech and mind resides. Then Guru Buddha joyfully descends and sits in our heart on the sun and moon cushion. At that moment, our very subtle body, speech and mind becomes inseparable with the very subtle body, speech and mind of Guru Buddha. Our mind expands. The text says we are filled with inspiration, which means our mind, we are filled with infinite space, with joy, with wisdom, with happiness, with compassion, with love. We become one and inseparable of Guru Buddha. Our own body, speech and mind is like the main cause, and then like when we make a vase, it's like the clay, and the body, speech and mind of Guru Buddha that descends to us is like the potter that gives the shape to the clay. So it gives the shape to our mind. By the condition of Guru Buddha coming to our heart, our own mind, body and speech, very subtle, becomes of the same nature as Guru Buddha. So it's important for us to just feel in this moment this infinite space, this sensation of joy, of love, of wisdom, that it pervades every atom of our body, every aspect of our mind. It simply expands our mind. So it is actually one of the most beautiful and one of the most important moments of the practice. Okay? Which is also called the ultimate Guru Yoga. Okay? Now I will go to one part which I was just reading before, which is a part of the practice which is not described in the actual verses that we recite of the Guru Puja, that can be done at this moment of the practice, okay? Once we have concluded the part of the 4 empowerments, there is a meditation that we can add to the actual text of the Guru Puja, which is the recitation of mantras of the Guru. So basically what we do, we can do this in 2 ways, or we visualize ourselves as Vajradhara, or we visualize Guru Buddha in our heart, as we have explained before. And then in the heart of Guru Buddha, there is the syllable Hum. Around the syllable Hum is the mantra Om Ah Hum, which is the essence of all Buddhas, of the body of all Buddhas. Om Ah Vajradhara Hum Hum. Just check one thing. Yeah. Om Ah Vajradhara Hum Hum. Around the mantra Om Ah Vajradhara Hum Hum is the mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamuni Soha. Around the mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni is the mantra of our own root Guru. So in this case, we have the mantra of Lama Rinpoche, which is Om Ah Guru Vajradhara Sumati Muni Shasane Karma Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsamanya Sarvasi. All the mantras are turning clockwise, and they are made like the letters as they are made of light, like if they were candles turning. Okay. We can add in between, because first there is the Om Ah Hum, which is the essence of all Buddha's body, speech and mind. Om Ah Vajradhara Hum Hum, which is the essence of all Buddhas. Vajradhara is the union of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So is the essence of all Buddhas. Then, Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Soha, Buddha Shakyamuni is the father of our lineage, is where our lineage is coming from. Our own root Guru is how, through whom our lineage reached us. So it's like the beginning and the end of our lineage. How it is the two edges of the lineage, how it arrives to us. If in between we like to add the mantras of our lineage Guru, Om Guru, for example, the mantra of Trichan Rinpoche, Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Gyana Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Hum Hum. We have the different garlands outside. When we recite the mantra, we recite from outside to inside. which means first the last mantra we recite for first. So we start with Oma Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munishasane Karma Uta Vardhanya Shribada Varsamanya Sarvasiddhi. When we finish the recitation of this mantra, it will absorb into the mantra that is inside. So Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Soha. When we finish this mantra, it will dissolve into the Oma Vajradhara Hum Hum, that will absorb into Om Ahum, that will later absorb into the Hum at our heart. As we recite the mantras, we visualize lights from the mantra garland that goes into the 10 directions. It reaches every Buddha making offerings to them, and then the lights come back to our heart. Then once again the lights emanate, purifying every negativity of the whole environment, purifying any aspect of impurity of the environment. And then the environment becomes pure and the light and nectar reabsorb into our heart. Then once again light and nectar emanates, eliminating any impurity of all sentient beings around us. And then also every sentient being is guided through the path to enlightenment, reaches the state of Buddhahood, the light reabsorbs back into our hearts, and from that sentient beings, once again, from their heart, light emanates, going to all other sentient beings, and then reabsorbing back into them. So it's like a way of multiplication. Okay? So, as we do this, we are emanating, because we are one and inseparable of Guru Buddha. In the phase before making the request, when we did the mantra of the Guru, of Lama Tsongkhapa, and the mantra of the Guru at that part, we are requesting the blessings. After receiving the 4 empowerments, we become one and inseparable with Guru Buddha. Then from our heart, light emanates and goes to all sentient beings. Then come back and reabsorb into our heart. Okay? This is a very important part of the practice also. So we can do with the recitation of the mantra, even though this is not, let's say, officially written in the text of the main text of the Guru Puja. This is a part of the practice that we can do. At this moment of the practice, we can also do like self-healing and other practices also. And then after that, we will go to Tsog offering and meditating on the gradual path to enlightenment and so on. But the main part of the Guru Yoga practice is this part. Okay, this is like when we are really in the essence, in the main core essence part of the Guru Yoga practice. Okay, which is we first meditate in the absolute Guru Yoga, where we see ourselves inseparable of Guru Buddha. Then from our heart, light emanates, going to all sentient beings, coming back, and so on. Okay, I think it's quite clear. No? I will just give a quick check if I'm not letting anything important out. Hopefully not. Okay. So, as we could see in these 2 days, the only part of verse 43 to verse 54. Okay? So we have 11 verses. How much is inside of it? It's incredible. And how powerful it is if we do it with the right intention, with the right awareness, if we really meditate on it, not only recite it. Okay? So that's why just please remember the Guru Puja is a practice for us to meditate upon. It's a practice for us, it's a meditation practice. More than a recitation. Sure, the recitation is important. Once first we learn how to recite, then we learn the visualization, then we learn the state of consciousness that we need to generate. But it is indeed a very, very powerful tool that we have for our own path, for our own practice. Okay? And it makes me very happy when we are able to look at it and see the beauty. You know? It's like, as we went through the text, these verses, these last 2 days, it was really like looking at the beauty of every verse, showing how it's capable of guiding us through the development of our own mind. Okay? So, we will stop here, make the final dedications. And what I just request for everyone is please, you do the practice, do the meditation, in the sense that what we have explained, we need to read it again, we need to listen again, we need to reflect upon it, because we need to cultivate our faith. We need to cultivate our connection with Guru Buddha really in the right way. Okay? So we will do now the final dedications. Anyhow, now we do the final dedication. So thanks very much for everyone, for our gurus of the lineage, for everyone for listening, of dedicating well, okay? Jetsun Lama kutse rapten chin namkar trinle chochur gepadang losan tempe drenme sasomgi drove munsel tauto ne gyurchi Nimo dele tsendele anime kuyan delekshin Nintsen takto delekpe koncho sumke jingilo koncho sumke ngodrup tsol koncho sumke trashishon. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness.